5:30 p.m. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Day.
Present.
Councilmember Sens.
Present.
Councilmember Moraz. Here. Councilmember Deanne. Here. And Mayor Stevens not present. Thank you.
City Attorney, can you please read a closed session title?
Yes, Mayor. 3.1 Conference Legal Counsel Anticipated Litigation Pursuant to Government Code Section 4956.9 Significant Exposure to Litigation Pursuant to Paragraph 3, Subdivision D, Section 456.9 of the Government Code 2 cases. Point 2 Public Employee Performance Evaluation Pursuant to Government Code. 3.3 Conference of Real Property Initiated Pursuant to Government Code Section 5956.8 Party 1 Maple Avenue, Hollister, California 95023 Agency Negotiator PA and City Manager under negotiation price, purchase terms and conditions.
you, everybody, for coming and being in attendance. Really excited for tonight's meeting. We have a lot in store, and Councilmember Morales, lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you for that. Seat turn, is there a report of action from today's closed session?
There's no reportable action.
Okay, thank you. We're going to start with agenda item 6.1, a proclamation honoring the Key Club. And I got a little something that I can read, but I would much rather read the big something because I think I can speak for us all, and I'm all very proud of Key Club. So I'm going to read the entire proclamation here. Proclamation honoring Key Club International 100th anniversary. San Diego Key Club 35th anniversary. As Key Club International, the largest ISOL serve organization, is celebrating 100 years with more than 4,000,000 members in 38 countries, is observing the week of November 3rd through 7th, 2025 as Key Club Week. And whereas the San Diego Key Club, sponsored by the Hollister Kiwanis Club, is part of this global student-led community service organization, and whereas the San Diego Key Club celebrated its 35th anniversary at Hollister High School of providing service, building character, and developing leadership. And whereas the Key Club has helped raise nearly $35,000 for Cancer Society's Relay for Life over 22 years, hundreds more for UNICEF, assisted Hollister Recreation, and many other worthwhile organizations. And caring members of the San Diego Key Club have volunteered thousands of hours in service projects such as environmental cleanups. I'm a huge fan of and proponent. I do them myself, bringing quality joy to young children, elderly supporting city creation programs and veterans groups. And whereas the unselfish service provided by San Diego Key Club has had a positive impact on our community and its citizens, now, therefore, I appreciate Vice Mayor of the City of Hollister do hereby proclaim November 3rd through 7th, 2025 as Key Club Week in the City of Hollister and call upon our officials and citizens to graduate members of the organization on their 35th anniversary and their achievements and make themselves aware of the Key Club. Members are preparing themselves to be better, responsible citizens as they provide service to our community. In witness Sarah, I hear to say hand cause 6 to the City of Hollister this day of November 25. Let's hear it. Thank you. Do I understand that we have some member of the Key Club here? Should we get together? Let's hear one. We've got parents in attendance. So proud of you. Mom, dad, or you want to get it? Are you as well? Awesome. Okay, let's close. Hold my hands up to the boss. Thank you Beautiful job. Thank you for your service to the community. Make a positive difference. You need to read the entire thing. Number 1. All right. All right. And now, Explorers Day 6.2, we have a presentation on the Higher Aspiration Program. And do we have a representative?
It's actually 3 of us.
3 of us.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, thank Is that with me? Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us. My name is Anna Terrace. I'm the Director of Basic and Six at Gap College. And one of the programs that I have the honor and privilege of working with and supporting is Higher Aspirations Program. We have of our team members here today to help the presentation. I do want to mention that Megan Christian, our programs list, and Beth again, departmental assistant, are key contributors to our success program. So I'm going to invite us up here because we're going to turn. Program is a program that supports our justice impacted students. So we have on-campus program, and then we have programs in jail as well.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rob Rodriguez. I am the Juvenile Justice Program Coordinator at Gavin College, so I work a lot with the continuation schools, alternative schools, as well as juvenile justice facilities we have in San Diego and in Clare County. So our program, our mission, working with currently formerly incarcerated individuals. Again, I would use so at the youth, that's a little bit different. You don't have to be formally incarcerated to take advantage of the services that we offer in our program. So we help with career and academic pathways, social support, and basic needs services, those things that are barriers for a lot of people to getting their education. And one of the ways we do that is offering that social support. So we give them a community they can come to when times are tough, things are hard, and when they're at school, they're applying to school, they have someone to lean on. And so we have quite a few different pieces of on campus and in facility we support our students with. All right, so being our students. So our students have a lot of challenges and barriers. This comes from early age, from current times, these things they've had to go through, things that they deal with on a daily basis that challenge them to get their education, to make their life better. And these are all things that we're familiar with, that we have peer mentors on campus that are trained to help with. When they have the challenge, they know who to come to. Especially the basic needs part, that's one of the big pieces that a lot of our students come to us for is, hey, I support these things. I'm coming to help. We also facilitate Heal Circle on campus so that they have time to talk about the other things like the trauma they've been through, whether it's familial, whether it's in the community, whether that's institutional. They have opportunities to talk about that with us.
Good evening, folks. My name is Hong Van. I'm the counselor coordinator for the aspiration program. So I provide service both on campus and at county jail. This is just now out of the demographics of our students. This the statistics from this past 2025. We were only at 114 students, and so all of the units were only incarcerated either county jail or through CDR. Our program has expanded a lot. So currently we're in the fall semester. Our roster just today are at 152 students. So program is expanding. In terms of average persistence, 70% of our students persist from year to year. 2008 to 2004. The 28% that didn't persist, so every single year we conduct a survey at the end of every semester in terms of persistence. And these are some of the factors that came up. Housing security was the greatest contributor to students need to stop going to school. Also, implement economic hardships, health emergency, and childcare. One thing we really want on campus is that 74% of our students receive service from two Hollister programs. So in addition to higher operations, we're part of a larger network of programs, campus, OPS, first generation student, HealthWorks, Access, Care, and stuff, foster youth. So in addition to counseling, other counselors and all programs, 60% of our students have a GPA higher than the median average of 2.5. I'm proud of, right? They're the best students in my eyes on our college campus. 39% of our students have GPA higher than the 0.0. And so I'm just gonna spring semester since that enrolled program, D1 students are eligible for transfer out the way. Some of those live there are where students have gotten admitted into. I'm hoping this semester right now we're in the process of applying for students are applying for transfer. So I'm hopeful this list continue to expand. On our campus we have something called career academic pathways. So you'll see on the pie chart to the right, I believe we have 8 caps. Recently, I believe Senate 831 really changed how college campuses, the conversations we're able to have with students who are formerly incarcerated around what careers they pursue. And so connecting their career goals to educational requirements are extremely important, ensuring that based on their eviction history, they can be able to have employment opportunities upon graduation. We know that education is a growth factor in reducing racism, but we also know that a lot of folks that come out of the carceral system are funneled into skills trade. So you'll see there's the 19.2%. But we see also 27% of our students, that's the largest group of folks that are going to the social sciences and humanities, business, and then health sciences and wellness. A lot of our students are becoming nurses, radiology techs, veterinaries. So they're really changing the narrative around the treatment for incarcerated students. So there's some support services provided. Try to remove as much barriers as possible, right? The textbook, transportation grants, counseling. We're located inside a need center. They get rental assistance, housing support for students aren't housed. I think Annette will talk a little later, like SPUD and leave services, transfer assistance. So we're working a lot with UC Santa Cruz Underground Sellers and SU Monterey Bay Brick Region. There's a pipeline for students that have been impacted by the system to be able to transfer and to a bachelor's degree. One thing I think program going in the past 2 years since we really expanded is just build a program outside just the quantitative racism. So you see, like, a lot of students, they come and they don't want this. It's the nature of the isolation of incarceration, right? The institutions have to navigate. Building that trust really takes time. I think we have a great team able to foster that for our students. We have tons of student engagement activity. Rob mentioned it already. And this part is building community on campus. Students that are fully accredited can come to campus and feel like they have a civil.
So in case you're wondering why we're here at the council, in San Diego County. Well, we have been a partner with San Diego County Jails about 2007 with really fun. In 2022, there's legislation that allowed colleges to receive funding, very competitive. It continues to be competitive. Not all 160 community colleges have funding. We're lucky to have the and the juvenile program. Like you heard Long say, we have extended. We started with 7 students. We're at about 150 or 150. And so we're here because we know that we're doing our part, right, in terms of education and them to talk service and whatnot. But we know that we need local government, we need community to wrap their arms around this population well, whether it's through employment opportunities, whether it's through housing, second chance housing, second chance employment, and of course funding is always needed. But really, it's about the exposure and support. And so, in your packets, I believe you received a little bit more information about high aspiration. You also received information about San Jose's Records Project. We're being to San Diego County on Wednesday. It is for service from 2 to 4 at Hollister campus. I believe, I'm a Hollister native, 45-year-old. I've worked at Galvin College for 20 years. I've never had an expungement program here in this county. It's much needed. I asked Tong before we came up, like, how many students San Benito? They said about half of our students come from this county. And so what expungement do, it doesn't undo, right, whatever the offense was, but it gives our students, our community members, our neighbors, a chance at having, a decent job and being able to apply for housing and get into permanent housing somewhere. The other thing we're doing on Saturday, November 8th, is in Glory. What do plan to bring the 2 Hollister in the spring, and it's a free legal clinic. We're working with attorneys that are at cost for immigrant employment and housing, and remove barriers, right, to give access to this vulnerable population of individuals in our community to students. Both of our community events are not just for students. That's something that we're proud of, that we're not continuing it with just getting college. We're expanding to our community because that's what we do at community college. And that is contact information. Not sure if anyone has questions. Be happy to answer. I know we might overdo.
Councilmember Morales.
Yeah, is your good to see you.
Hi.
For coming. Receiving Rising Star funds.
We are.
It's for county,
We
Santa
do.
Clara and San Diego.
Well, it's one of funding comes to the district. So for Rising Color, it's about $140,000 a year. For the adult program, and for juvenile justice, it's like 1.5 over years, like a little more than 500,000 for each. So yeah, much more for the juvenile population than we do for the adult population. There's a lot more services for the youth, which is wonderful. It's great. We're seeing an influx of adults that have a really need. They come family, right? They're not just individual. They come entire family. That we're trying to. We know this program and other things that we're doing are not being just the individual, lifting the entire family.
And was that 3 year up
For juvenile, adult,
for juvenile?
in 2 more years. We're in our second year.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks for and Councilmember Sanders. Well, I'm so excited, proud to hear about what you all are doing. Already so encouraged by the success you've had so far. I'm not totally sure what we do, like financially directly, but finding ways together to find funding to help you guys eventually grow and expand. Like a third of your students are on track to potentially go to college at some great state schools that we have just here in California. A third of them, and you're to 150 students from, I can't remember the numbers, 120 to 150 growing, and a third of those students are potentially on track to go to college. I think a lot of us forget about how important the grades are, right? We need things built, right? We're talking about fixing roads, fixing infrastructure. We got spray all the time. We've public works just right in Hollister, and just hearing about people potentially getting tracked to do the trades is really powerful. So I know what we can do directly. We're trying to rub nicks together here on Hollister to pay our bills and get back on track financially. But I know that we got a lot of really smart people just in this room now, up here as well, and with city staff, I think we can really find some good potential avenues for additional funding, because we got on a great track, and I'd like to see what we do to keep that trajectory moving forward in a positive way.
I appreciate that. Funding everything, the sort of community, have your all platform to support that we do, to encourage to participate, spread the word. I think is also really important. Yeah.
Glad to have
Thank you. Good to see
you
you.
for bringing us to our attention. Thank you. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Higher aspirations program. So public input. This is the time for anybody in the audience to speak on any item that's not on the agenda within the subject matter jurisdiction of council. Speak cards are available in the lobby and are to be completed and get to the city clerk or speaking. When the city clerk calls your name, please come to the podium, state your name and city of the records, and speak to city council. If you're joining via Zoom, please click the button on your screen to raise your hand. And if you are joining via Zoom via cell phone, please press asterisk or star 9, and each will be limited to 3 minutes, a maximum of 30 minutes per subject. Please note that state law prohibits the city council from discussing or taking action on any item not on the agenda. So, Mouth, city clerk, do we have any public comments?
Yes, Mayor. Speaker is Antonio Mendoza. To be followed, I believe, Rigoberto Alves.
Hello, members. I'm Antonio Mendoza, and I am the executive director of the Community Food of San Diego. I come to today because our community is facing crisis with the federal government shutdown with SNAP, but it's not issued for November. Now, 3 million Americans are going to their SNAP benefits. In number of Americans, more than 7,000 live in San Diego County, and more than 1,000 are children. The cost of its drinks benefit health benefits the county 1 month $1.3 million. And right now, people who are receiving that being referred to the food bank. So people seeking our services in the month of November. And while the government did accelerate $80 million health food funds, help food bank during this, it's important to note regarding funding that it is not new funding. It was intended to support the exist service we provide for community in San Benito and Hollister. We support more than 10,000 people with our services, and also that it is not emergency funding. So this funding that we already allocated and is help us with cash flow does not help us accommodate all people that be seeking services on November. And we are coming to that he's asked that you work with us to find any emergency fund that you can help meet the inflow of people going to be seeing food in here in the month of November. We would use this to make large purchases of food to accommodate the customers that we are taking in first time or at long last, and expand services. So we have windows which people can receive food and can deliver food to locations. It is also important to note that despite news that came out earlier today that the administration was going to release funds partially fund fresh benefits, you can check the news source from CNN to the Associated Press. People in agreement that benefits may be delayed weeks or months, so it does eliminate crisis that our community members are seeing. While I'm happy to know that they will potentially receive partial funded benefits for the month of November. So the county administrative officer has already declared this emergency, which the supervisors will be discussing during the meeting tomorrow. We ask that our lead in our community treat this as an emergency and do whatever they can to help us meet this assistance to our community. Happy to discuss this further with you, and I appreciate you taking the consistent. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Those are bringing us up. And yeah,
Next speaker is Rigoberto Ellis, followed by Need D.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Rigoberto Aviles. I'm a local committee member, a committee organizer, a leader of San Benito, leader of Hollister, and here to ask our representatives, elected representatives, to take the issue that Mr. Antonio brought up very seriously. Very seriously. There are people that need this help. There are people who work in county offices, people that don't get all. There are people that have regular jobs everywhere. We all done on the service. Where if you've ever seen the mobile food bank, it is amazing to see every member, every sector of the community. We have people use service. It's very important for everyone to take action, to do everything can. Everything can. You're going to need to be contacting your people in Sacramento, contacting your people ever. Sometimes when I think about Roland Rendez, or I think about Dolores Alice and Richa, I want to know that you guys are working class. That you want to know you guys are working for the people that really need the help. And just want to let you know that people are waking up and we are demanding from our representative, and we are watching very, very closely. We understand that we get together and vote wherever we need to. We're asking you guys to really take this seriously. I want to clearly, when I ask myself 6 months from now, what the representatives do, I know exactly what he did, right? And everybody in the crowd I'm sure we can all agree, we just want accountability. We want elected representatives to be here as well. I'm disappointed that Ms. Roxanne Stevens and Silla aren't here. I'm also, I like for you guys to, whenever I get newsletters, whenever I get mailers, it's really embarrassing to see one side fighting their side instead of talking about you guys doing. Really, la hinchada, seriously. You're using my elected for political purpose, political gain. Really embarrassing. And I'm not a defender of the other faction. Believe me, I don't agree with all the things they've said, a lot of the way they've treated me specifically. So I really want to see sailors that say what you're doing can correctly, right? Because it takes so much time, so much effort. Really, take it seriously. We're watching. It only takes 100 to flip, right? And then you're in office. Thank you very much.
thank you, Rigoberto.
Our next speaker, Kenny D, to be followed by Maggie Lute.
Hi, I'm CD. I live on Merritt Street. These neighbors here in the back, they're all experiencing this negative police experience and dust noise. They won't be putting any public kind of hear me right now. I've got many of my other neighbors just couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. We attend via them anyway. And I've also been in contact with Ms. Deanda and Mayor Sons. Since July, me and my neighbors have been their heights of dust generated by large moving equipment and early morning easy start time at the struck site located at the end of Mimosa Street. This activity creates daily public nuisance in our neighborhood. We are unable to enjoy our yards or outside because of nuisance amounts daily dust. We have to clean yards many times to start a construction project. We're also unable to open a window during the day to the dust. One we can enjoy yards and Sunday. We spent a couple hours cleaning yards up, unfortunately, before we relax and enjoy it. The dust management was lacking severely with this project. We had basically 7 layers through a tractor, 2 water trucks to address dust. We started adding dirt in the stream of dust trucks. Even worse, they still had 2 water trucks and tried to control the dust, which was inadequate. The amount of dust created was public nuisance. Contact to the Written America developer, the housing project, looked to the EP of land management, and she basically told me, yeah, we've got a permit, and so it was basically it. Was no help. I sent the inspector videos, overwhelming instances of dust. He kept telling me he would just talk to the contractor about the dust. Fortunately, the inspector could not be there all the time to keep dust production down. After many calls, I lost confidence. Fortunately. So, complete public records act dust revealed and revealed the proving company available in Richmond American did not provide the city with dust mitigation plan or just not provided upon my RA. In the future, with all respect home construction growth, the constructions will be getting closer and closer to established residential neighborhoods and homes. The construction dust will continue to create a public nuisance in our neighborhoods. It will create a health issue to our residents and more importantly to our children. I was city improve the oversight of construction companies and to just start and work to more resident and community friendly. The Santa has an ordinance helped years ago that is tailored for residents to specifically address construction noise, with exceptions to the rules. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Our next speaker is Guy Deloach.
Hi, folks. I'm Meg Deloach, and I'm a new Hollister resident. But my family and I moved into a place, John Smith Road, loving it. I'm here tonight because I got an email about the need for help at Community Food Bank. And I didn't come here to say anything, but I would like to say is that we have all got together as Californians because it's a shame the state produces the majority of food in the entire world. That children would be hungry, elders be hungry. So hoping that can all find ways to work together to support something that does so much good. And I'm going to say that my last trip to France was shopping in a market, and I went to get citizens where it was made, where it was in Hollister, California. So we can afford to spread a little food around.
Our next speaker, Christina Martinez.
Hello, my name is Christina Martinez, and I'm here to address council, and I implore you to declare a food sustainability crisis in San Diego County. I grew up in San Diego County my entire life. I'm born and raised in Hollister, and I find it shocking and appalling that over 10,000 of my fellow community members have to rely on a community food bank to the staple of their food. And I find shocking that 7,800 people rely on SNAP benefits. I'm a teacher here in this community in Hollister, and I can tell you firsthand, and I know there's other teachers here firsthand, there's probably several times a week a student comes up to me at some point during the day and tells me, I'm hungry. I don't think I can wait till lunch. And it's often the same student, I forgot my lunch today. I forgot my snack. This crisis had begun long before this extended crisis. And I want to bring it to your attention. I can't even imagine how much worse it's going to get. Some of these children are very young. So that sometimes it's food that they don't even like to eat. They'll eat it. They'll still eat it. And I just want everyone here to think about that. We already have 1,000 people relying on the community food bank. There's 700 that on CalFresh that will now have to turn to a food bank that's already going to be relying on funds that were already allocated for the people that they are already servicing, and then asking to take on additional people, often people in our own community that are producing and working in the food industry, in the agricultural industry. Can you even imagine? You are picking those crops, looking at those crops every day, and you often don't have enough to put on the table. We are the basket of the world. We are the world's sample. Like the first speaker said, we are growing food, and we have such high amount of people that rely on these services. It really begs the question, we already had this crisis before, and then we're adding to the crisis, and we're going to try to come up with more food. We really do need to declare a crisis. Is food insecurity? It's, this population of Hollister is less than 100,000. I think we're at 65,000 people. That's a huge amount of people in this county that don't have food, have to make those to food banks. And I feel that probably much greater than we even know, because many people that are often in need that can't make it. Thank you.
Thanks, Martinez.
Through all the speakers we have, this portion of the agenda.
Thank you for all your public input. There are a lot of things going on in the world. There are things that we do locally, and I think we can do a lot if we work together. So we'll come on that, and let's work. Do we have any comment from council?
So this was public comments on agenda items, so shouldn't go to a big discussion.
Okay, moving on to consent. Do we have members of the council that have any questions, comments on the items from the consent agenda? Okay, if any members of the council have any items, there's a poll. Okay, I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Vice Mayor Pache, we do need public comment on the consent agenda items, but we do not have public comments.
Okay, thank you for that. Public comment, appreciate it. We have a motion to adopt consent agenda. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries 4-0. Okay. Okay, so council business 9.1, we have rate and fee studies for the Hollister Municipal Airport and presentation by Ascension Group Partners. We have the staff work.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members, members of the public. Jeff Asher, Airport Director. Today we have the opportunity to receive a rate and fee study for the Hollister Municipal Airport. Ascension Group Partners are aviation practitioners. They experience in aviation development, consulting, and management. The report outlines more of their background there and their experience. And the AG has been working with the airport since March of 2024. And tonight with Ryan Lake, the principal, who will be giving a presentation. And also joining us is Kurt Gagne, president and CEO of Ascension Partners. With that, we should have Ryan online.
Thank you for the introduction. Kurt, are you able to provide a quick introduction? Do you have any introductory comments? If not, then I'll start a presentation.
Ryan.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Ryan, it's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank you for allowing us the opportunity to serve your report and work with Jeff. Spent a number of months researching details that we're going to share with you tonight, and I think we've come up with a solution that's very proactive for industry, and look forward to any question you might have.
Thanks, Kurt. So we can go to the next slide. I'll start there. We met with council a few months back and present the initial findings of the rate study. And so what we want to do tonight is really focus on the recommendations that have come out of this study. Jeff, if you don't just advance to the slide.
Is that the slide you
Sorry, it's actually an event on my slide. That's what it is. I'll just follow here if you mind go to the slide, the background slide. I think. So just writing a little background, pick up where we left off, the looking section we had council, and some reminders of the purpose of the city. So, Hollister Airport is a federally obligated airport. In exchange for receiving federal grants through the airport program, Hollister is obligated to follow FAA grant assurances. So the funding that Hollister typically receives is what 9% of eligible capital projects to support the port, keep it open. While Caltrans matches around 5% of that 90%. So effectively, you're getting close to 90% capital projects are funded through the federal system that provides for airports that are the national plan integrated airport systems. It's up to Hollister to sponsor the port, then cover those remaining cap costs. Additional to the operating cost, it takes to run the airport on a day basis. Really, the rent there's a number of them, but the main one here is the airport to make decisions in the best interest of achieving sufficiency. So if they have an expectation, the airport has to be self-efficient, but you're making decisions that are in the best interest of achieving sufficiency. The FAA doesn't necessarily provide a methodology for how the airport has to establish the aeronautical rate and fees, only that whatever method that you use to establish the fee structure is fair, consistent, and transparent, and that you have a structure that captures all the fees that are being collected at the airport. So schedule its and charges is primary management compliance document, the term used by the FAA, that serves for the sponsor evidence of fulfilling the grant assurance obligation, so that there's a challenge to the airport or city, the sponsor, of whether you're applying with those grant assurances that are obligations for receiving that fund. You show the document, say yes, or meeting the obligation. Jeff, let's go to the next slide. So I know there's a lot of numbers on the slide. It's probably very difficult to read for your act. So I'll provide kind of high-level summary. In the report that we provided attached to the agenda for City Council, you'll be able to find this in the appendix of the report. And this provides a essential pro forma based on the budget of 2020 budget. We also had the beta for 2025. And you can see the airport operating fund here. And Jeff's a commendable job taking what was a significant deficit in the operating budget and at least for the budget should get the airport into an essential plus so they can go plan here through a combination of increased revenues and reduction costs. So from you can see the airport going forward over our plan period over the next 5 years is able to generate a surplus that covers the operating costs and contribute those capital costs. Jeff, look at the next slide. This slide is the second part of our form. It looks at the cap budget for the airport. Now, the capital budget itself, there's really two parts to this. The primary part is what we call the ACIP, the CIE, that stands for the Airport Capital Improvement Program. And that the cap projects are eligible for full funding. So those are the ones where you get the 95% match, 90% from the federal government and 5% from Caltrans. And it's really Hollister's obligation to cover that remaining 5%. You can see here on the airport capital improvement ending balance, the money that's rolling over in the cap budget, or some of the app budget for these capital projects is sufficient for the current fiscal year, but getting into next year and beyond, we'll go to a substantial deficit that's close to $1 million in 2028. The reason for that is that those capital projects, you can see some pretty substantial ones in 2027 and 2028 for construction of the Axio A project. And so even though the airport is operating in a financially sufficient manner, it's not in to cover the funding for these large cap projects are coming up in subsequent years. Essentially, hold Hollister will take the airport will take about 5 years to be able to get without really looking down the road to additional capital projects. So the ACE is really only looking for next year's 2028. This isn't taking into consideration a project the airport has. The ACEP that we rolling on after that period is what's non-federal funded projects like air maintenance that are regard to support revenue that's coming in. Those hangars are generating revenue at the airport, but it's not a capital budget to help maintain those to make that they're staying in the long term, continue generating revenue for the airport. Let's go to the next slide. So this is just a summary of the findings that we had from our original presentation. You can really find all of this in the report itself. I think we're seeing Hollister really is not that different from what we're seeing at airports across the country, particularly general aviation airports that have commercial service. And notice this is a acute problem in Northern California as well. particularly because rates are already high. And relative to the peers that we see in region and specifically Northern California, you have high rates, yet the option of maintenance costs of the airport are not able to cover the capital needs in the budget, and so you're seeing pressure on this budget. The sustainability of the airport, as I mentioned, it's not the outing budget itself, being able to have staff that are adequate to operate the airport and be able to provide those revenue sources that are going to continue generating the budget, supporting the budget you have currently. So it's not as easy to just raise prices. Really, the priority is find new sources of revenue to broaden that revenue base, but also prioritize ground leases and revenue generating opportunities over the near term that will help to support the long term through new revenue generating sources. And then the opportunity presents itself, be able to lower the rate in the future so that you can back to the market rates so that they're comparable with airports that attract new business to be able to support the airport and further. Jeff, look at the last slide here. So the available options that the airport has, we'll run through these. I'll just make a note now. This is a presentation council, not asking for adoption year. This report is a recommendation to the airport that they will bring back during the city's consolidated schedule process to impose any addition, any new or fee increase at that time. So we're just writing recommendations to the airport that they can act on through the particular budgetary process. The first thing here is there is going to need to be kind of bridge funding for the airport to support these 8 projects that are needed, kind of short-term loan or finance of the airport. Because there's really nothing you can do at this point to generate the revenue that you're going to need to get that $1 billion shortfall for funding before that funding is due for the need there for cap projects. In addition, there's opportunity to seek development projects where potential exists. Worked with F and another those, and he's brought another 2 to evaluate. And the airport does have some really great opportunities to bring additional tenants out of the airport, can do development that will generate revenue longer for the airport and help that financial sustainability. A number of projects involve emerging technology, what we refer to AA or advanced air mobility, and eVTOL or electric vehicle take for landing aircraft. These are traditional aeronautical resources, but they're as applied emerging sources that can mix all with the existing aeronautical traffic and bring some financing to the airport. We're permitted by the FAA. Some more additional sources of financing include rating the existing flowage fees to 10 cents a gallon, which is a few establishing a self-service fee at 25 cents a gallon for those that are bringing their own fuel on the airport, have the right to do that. The other thing that we're looking at here as well is adopting a methodology standard on nightly monthly tie-down fees by aircraft category. Again, the airport does have these tie-downs established. They're not currently in the consolidated fee schedule, but you can have a methodology to be able to demonstrate how you establish those fees and have them insist that they're fair across the different categories relative to the daily and monthly rates. Other opportunities are establishing a fixed hangar grounds origination transfer fee that's based on the city's cost allocation rates. So when the city's buy either a new lease or a renegotiated lease, they cover the cost for providing that service based on the typical to provide that service. Also, many airports in California have started adopting a derelict and operational airport store fee, and this is great because the FAA requires that the airport be used for not use. In cases where the aircraft are not they're in operational, it's considered non-operational or non-aeronautical use, and so you're really required by the airport to establish higher rates that are comparable to off-site commercial search fees. So this is a city do that to encourage those users that may have lost medical or are no longer using the aircraft or for aeronautical purposes, free it up to create more aeronautical activity as somebody that's going to be using the airport and flying there. A few other things, review landing fee exemptions. Right now, the airport charges for California operations. There might be other opportunities there. But really, the big takeaway from this is there are all the available options on the table for the airport that we identified. And it's really up to the airport to bring back the proposal in the airport fee schedule in the spring. And then from that, annual review market comparability, see if additional adjustment needed. Not the one to automatically increase the fees based on the CPI, because it really is important to stay comparable to other airports within the region so that the airport doesn't further fall behind the market rate. That's the presentation. Evan, I think, are open to taking questions on the presentation of the report itself.
Okay, thank you for that report. Any questions from Councilmember Morales? Amanda? Mercedes? Or wait.
Thank you for the report. So it's a lot, first of all, right, to take. The thing that stood out to me the most was you said that we have to loan $1 million to fund the capital improvement projects. Don't have $1 million. I'm just speaking. So what are other options? I'm assuming have the capital improvement project started, or can we prolong the process? Because I see not only us, but a great number of local municipalities, maybe even federal municipalities are headed towards recession soon, essentially, and already hurting at us. That's what's out to me though.
Twofold. One is we can look at variable funding sources. You may remember some of our utility funds do have a fund balance and could tend to do a 3 to 5 year loan to the airport. It doesn't have to be a general fund. We'd take that based on what we know the position of the general fund. Likely the general fund will not be funding $1 million loan to us for grant match. That being said, our options are that we delay acting the partaking of the grant and executing the grant projects, which the construction of Tattoo Alpha is that's our most failed pavement, and that also anticipated we need that improved to serve the future new air tac base that California intends to build at the airport. So it is important. There's no easy fix to this. And I've stated in the staff report here that I believe we can to maximize grounds opportunity for development, both on airport and through the fence agreements for the adjacent park property that's on the west side. You also have the Chris Park that is around the Amazon facility, and we hope to engage in discussion through the fence there. And yeah, and then feasible, obviously, if instead of just taking a loan per se, because the loan is, we have to pay back, it'd be nice to take a loan and have be revenue generating opportunity like build hangars and receiving that and trying to do a loan repayment schedule where the airport would benefit with some profit. Because one of the things, without getting into elaborate details, that the airport currently is not efficient by itself. The fund operations was pretty minimal. We've got good equipment now that it's just fairly efficient and effective at maintaining the facility. That being said, Hollister has received a lot of the buildings in reverting at the end of ground lease. So if we don't come up with money to actually start maintaining those with a formal program, your asset become unleasable in the future. So that's another challenge. And then obviously these grant matches. Thank you for your question.
Well, follow up. If that's okay. So the grants, how much grant money are we talking for the CIP, particularly one that used that the runway? How much grant money is until, and then the extra money about that?
Well, so this year we have a project that we currently accept the grant on. That was 5% of $147,000. So that's small. What we'd probably do is to do the design for the two-way alpha reconstruction, because that is an important project. The question I would have for FA is how long is the shelf life for design before we have actually the project. So timing that so that's so that we can engage in that. One of the challenges is really that FA, for these big projects, they have to find discretionary funding the projects. So the city wants to take a long look at their other available funds other than the general fund that we might be able to get at least through phase one, which the phase one project represents the northern section of Taxway Alpha, which is the most failed payment at the port.
And then second, final slash questions. When you talk about this model of being more just like getting people like sector, what's going on with Hillview Airport? I know they have some changes there. I think it's potentially sound like what model they were depending on. Like, does it look like other local municipalities as far as sustainability and rating revenue, maintaining these properties and whatnot?
Yeah. So if you compare it to other port, I'm really most familiar with Watsville. Watsville has 200 hangars that currently lease out, and they have a fair number of downs as well. But they can serve off Santa County, so they have a bin kind of micro demand right there. We are obviously strategically located where Salinas, but Salinas has reasonable hangar prices. They're lower than us. We have about 100 hangar units for the standard just aircraft going in, and that's what is good revenue generator for us. We have about 100 units with standing hangars. That would be what we're looking at. In terms of retail, I went there with airport commissioners about a year ago and met the airport director. So provided the board of providers continues down the same path, they are about year 14 or 15 now of not partaking in a FA grant, and so what they're banking on is closing the airport after 20-year obligation runs out. After the each time you receive your grant, you are re-upping for the year obligation. Albeit that we are already fairly obligated because we were a former federal facility, so in the deed that we have to operate our airport as a public airport for perpetuity.
Okay, thank you.
These are airports, everybody's, maybe it's full. What's kind of the direction of general aviation history? Like, are more people hopping airplanes and zooming around? We did just approve eVTOL testing that's peripheral to port operations big incident. So we took our put a foot in the future, I guess, there. But other airports are struggling, I'm assuming, as well. Like, what are they doing? Like, what's the general direction of the aviation industry, and then what are our ports on?
Well, I'll give a quick response to that, but I'd like to have Kurt Pistone, the CEO, Orion, speak to that, because obviously there are consultants and done management across wide areas, and so they can speak to this as well. But in my opinion, general aviation airports and people utilize those general aviation kind of private pilots, the legacy aircraft dying out, people time out, and the next generation is not in a position to own and pay for the aircraft, pay for the hangar, not get their pilot's license because recreational flight is got to a point where it's not affordable. My dad was a pilot for over 35 years. My was getting my pilot's license, but on a regular income, I can't afford that. Been their priorities. So that's what's becoming industry is really kind of seeing some new potential for recreational pilots to back into aviation through electric aircraft, as electric aircraft have a lower anticipated maintenance costs. So the whole advanced air mobility thing is another industry that is taking off and it's receiving really great support, and there's a lot of regional effort here in the local area. My former airport has Joby Aviation, Lena has Archer, and then we have Wico here at Hollister, and those are considered three of the top OEM manufacturers in advanced air mobility. You may remember that the city participates in Monterey Bay Tech Hub, and the fund arm of that is MF. And so we just received $7.4 million to establish flight corridors for advanced mobility aircraft to be flown between Watsonville, Manus, and Hollister. So our goal to put charging infrastructure in place so that if they fly here, that we can charge the plane so they can return back or complete their test track. I brought an airport use agreement for True Weather Solutions. Remember earlier, previously in this year, it was True Weather Solutions is doing the administrator information collection to share for these eVTOL aircraft. Then going to Monterey Bay Cub, they are also working on what's called the elect vertical takeoff and landing implementation integration pilot programs. Middle FAA has asked for submittals from regions to identify the 7 or 8 locations across the U.S. And we are going to consider with the 3 OEM manufacturers and two companies, Joby and Archer, pilots in the air taxi, the eVTOLs, and they're kind of leading the charge to the flights for FAA certification. WIS is choosing to pursue autonomous operations at this point, and they are considered the leading technology company in autonomous flight, as far as I know. So we're very blessed to have them. We're very blessed to have the Monterey Bay Tech Hub as an organization that we're working to try to gain more exposure in that industry. It's all sorted among calls monthly where it's regional partners and got Caltrans, Division of Aeronautics, the head chief that's on there. And so, I think, again, it doesn't get all done overnight. That's eventually what the study tells you. This isn't quick. There are fees that make sense to do enact on. I still have a gut feeling that we're not a designated airport, so in terms of outside users coming and flying in using our airport, if you start putting more landing fees or increase overnight fees and things, there is a balance point which makes it very easy for them not to utilize the airport currently. And so I think that taking a very balanced approach, practical approach, and working with our FEO to really get a sense of people's tolerance for when they come in, what are they willing to do to potentially pay a little more. But with that, I'd like to hear from a statement from Bert in particular.
Thanks, Jeff. Hear me okay?
Yes.
Gave all the details there. The thing I have to say is that your airport is an integral part of a larger system, not only within the state, but nationally. So there's 241 general aviation airports in California. We're working with a dozen in a similar fashion right now as we're with Jeff, relative to evaluate rates, fees, and really opportunity to make the airports self-sustainable. So as you know, the airport and enterprise fund, it's run independent of general fund. Its rates, fee structure, revenue streams, expenses should not be aligned at all on your general fund. That's the goal. And your airport not unique in the evaluation that Jeff undertook here. But he pointed out you have some really unique interest in the airport, not just people flying in base airplanes there, which I would have slightly different take on that. I wouldn't say it's a dying industry. I'd say it's evolved one where the young generation are coming to fly looking for different opportunities to how to enter and to learn how to fly and why they're flying. But post-pandemic, 2020, the value in relation to airports as opportunities to enter in and out of communities actually increased. It did increase. So while we saw the commercial airline industry during the pandemic, general aviation airports didn't do that. And so some things that point out the tech opportunities that you have with, like GWIS, through the operation with your cargo entities, certainly the Airbase and the development of Airbase as an integral part of protecting the wild, for against wildfires that are in that region, would be a critical reason to keep the airport open. And so as he pointed out, this is a short-term solution. I think you have opportunities when you do your person fee schedule to look at additional ways to make the airport self-sustainable, but not to do it or necessarily raising fees to be attraction to people to come to the airport or invest in the airport, but to look for ways to maximize land, buildings, other facilities, to generate new revenue streams to help in that self-sustainable airport. Written an article on this. We just share with you and share those with Jeff. The issue we're talking about here tonight are not unique at all. I mean, airports across the country are continuing to look for ways to evolve. It was mentioned not the recession. The cost of new construction for the last 5 years has gone up over 50%. And so the infrastructure needed to do runways and taxiways and building hangars has put more stress on the end user. And so there's the requirement that we look for ways for the whole industry to step up, not only the airports, but users themselves. And anything you want to add?
I think that's great, sir. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, and then just in closing, I would point out that probably one concern we may have, if you look in the form there, is that there is sensitivity about revenue diversion, and one form of revenue diversion is the indirect costs that are charged over to the enterprise fund. I know this more formally. Part of that comes from an offhand finding for all enterprise funds, but just to note there that, there is a significant amount of money that goes towards general fund overhead expense, which is kind of offset to city manager, city clerk, and finance department time, the office, and then and there's a level of support to the information technology service. So that's infrastructure costs there. So just understand that that's also an area that we need to look at, so that we're not in jeopardy of revenue diversion.
Jeff, a good point. Again, it's not a unique situation to Hollister. The FAA will come in time to time and will evaluate overhead expenses. In some cases, we've seen airport budgets have 40 to 50% of their budget being redirected indirect costs. Any view of that, where the city can help in managing those indirect costs and not put pressure necessarily on the port, will put less on the port's enterprise fund, which ultimately will keep away from the general. So really point, Jeff.
Exciting stuff. It looks like at that point when we not even need runways. Like that the future is going to happen for us doing vertical liftoffs, right? That's somewhere.
Yeah, I think we're going to have concentrated areas on the airport. They're going to be focused serving the new electric vertical takeoff and land. We're all going to have legacy aircraft in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Some exciting also in emerging technology maybe morphing is the sustainable approach to larger commercial aircraft. So we're starting to see hydrogen hybrid engines that are being looked at regional transportation and stuff, bigger level. And so it's a really exciting time to see how the new technology is meeting some of the challenges today. And again, we're talking about the all-going word PIPSTL. PIPSTL is an all-electric aircraft that looked a little Cessna 150, which is kind of the premier recreational entry user type aircraft. And so with them being all electric and lowering the cost, hopefully can be rebounding in the general aviation industry and typical segments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Crew. Have a minute in the past and our eyes look at the future, and it's an exciting time. Like I think we discussed it a little last time. We were talking about involvement in traffic. Think about how nice it would be to vertically take off, float with ease, past all traffic, and then summer safety where traffic does not exist. So let's keep an eye on opportunities to make better use. And again, I guess it's an opportunity for us to start to get into looking for opportunities to find opportunities for our airport to be successful. And do we have any public comments on this side?
No public comments for the done.
Not even after they'll speak about the flying with greatest ease and vertical on land. We have tons of comments on that. Okay, let's move to key science things. A lot is going on. The state of small science put on hold for the last month. So, anybody have anything to report?
So here in the California State, I was appointed to the Public Safety Committee again for 2026.
Good job there. Thank you, Councilmember Morales. Councilmember Miranda?
Yeah, so when it comes to the Water Resource Association Committee, working to promote conservation programs more through community partnerships and also increase a social media presence. That's kind of what's in the works, and I'll be able to report back once we forward those steps.
Okay, thanks for that. Councilmember Resendez, nothing to report. Okay. Any council members like to see anything, any requests for future agenda items?
So you have one there from Councilmember DeAnd after filling out the form that this session is for, so it really needs thumbs up. If you want to see the item, come back. There's a presentation from Typical Education Program at San Diego County Public Health.
Good to hear a report.
Thank you, Members and Members of Council. I have nothing to report this evening.
Okay, thank you. All right, no further business. Meeting is now adjourned.